We are neither nutritionists or medical providers. The topics discussed on this show are from our own research and experiences. Please consult your medical provider before attempting anything discussed on this show. Welcome to another episode of Sjogren Strong.
This is Brian.
And this is Lupe.
And this is your weekly podcast discussing on how to live an active and healthy lifestyle despite having a diagnosis of Sjogren's syndrome.
And before we get to today's episode,
we want to remind everybody that we are participating in the 2019 LA Area Walk. There's a link in the show notes below. Please join our team if you live in the Los Angeles or Orange County area. If you do not and would like to support us, that same link, you can donate to Team Living Sjogren Strong. All funds go to the Sjogren's Syndrome Foundation to fulfill their mission. If you're unable to donate, please share our page link and help us raise awareness for Sjogren's syndrome.
that too, but I actually wanted to give a shout out to a couple of people.
Shout on.
So I actually wanted to tell a funny story to my friend Dale. Hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
No, come on.
Dale's an enabler.
So Dale, check it. We went to a local mall over the weekend, and it was like over 100 degrees. And before we left the house, I was going crazy looking for a chapstick, and I just could not find a chapstick. So next thing you know, we leave the house. I forget. I got no chapstick. Brian, I asked him for a chapstick. He didn't have a chapstick either. So what did I have to do? Go buy another pack.
What you didn't have to do was buy a 3-pack.
Well, because it's like 3 for $1.99 or 1 for $1.99. So, hello?
Because it was 100 degrees, we now have 2 full tubes of melted chapstick.
I had it in my pocket.
And your second shout out?
Second shout out is to Suzanne Masterson.
Suzanne Masterson. We are putting a link to the article you wrote in the show notes of this episode. And thank you so much for sharing what we're doing here on Sjogren Strong. And congratulations on your article getting picked up. Yahoo, MSN, who knows how many more by the time we're recording this. But we really appreciate what you're doing for Sjogren syndrome awareness. And thank you again so much.
We really appreciate it. We got a lot of clicks and follows and...
So on to the topic of today's episode. It is dropping on the 3rd of...
Hold up. Wait a minute. I wanted to say, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brian. Happy birthday to you. Boop, boop. We have a 4th of July baby in the house.
Which brings us to the topic of today's episode. How to prepare yourself for a 4th of July celebration.
Did I embarrass you, Brian?
No.
No comment?
No. And these are things we've discovered over the years and just wanted to share them with you.
Number 1 is get a good night's sleep, especially if you plan on going out and celebrating the 4th. Do like me and take a nap all day and...
Party all night.
Yeah.
And number 2, hydrate. If you're going to go celebrate the 4th, make sure you're preparing yourself throughout the day. So before you take that afternoon nap, get a lot of fluid and electrolytes in you. And when you wake up from your afternoon slumber, let's get some more fluids and electrolytes in you.
Sometimes I make plans and...
Sometimes she makes plans and I get out of the shower and I'm all dressed and I come out in the living room and she's sleeping still. And I go, I guess we're not going, right?
Right. Sometimes I make plans. That's why I don't like making plans way in advance, because by the time the day comes, I just don't want to.
I'm sure you guys have had the same feeling before. If you do make plans, do your best to stick to them. You know, we know it's hard. And we know it's hard for friends and family to understand what it is you're going through. So if at all possible, stick to the plans you make and get out and make an appearance.
So if you're like me and you nap all day and then get ready, I like to show up late when the festivities are at their fullest so I could just jump right into party mode. Boop, boop. And also, it's a little bit cooler outside, so...
Which is great advice, especially for the 4th in this part of the country. I'm sure down south it might be a little warmer and humid, but here we catch a little night air on the 4th.
Number 4, you want to be sure to eat properly.
Yeah, so stay away from the fried foods. I know the grills are going to be on and that charcoal air is going to smell so good, but make sure you start with a salad. Do your best to stay away from the fried stuff. That way you're going to help keep your hydration up and your energy level up.
That way you won't pay for it the next day. And number 5 is do not drink.
Do your best to stay away from alcohol. It's been
Since September.
since September. We haven't had a drink since September.
And I don't crave it. I don't want it because I never want to feel like I felt. It took me like 2 weeks to cure a hangover.
I'll be honest, I had a really bad day, long, bad day a couple weeks ago, and I really wanted a glass of whiskey, but didn't do it.
You should have.
No, I'm not going to bring it into the house. You don't drink, I don't drink.
I never drank that anyways.
Team Lupe. That's a hashtag, by the way.
It is. Look it up.
And this didn't make the list, but this is something we concern ourselves with. We have dogs. You've seen the picture of Rat in Instagram if you follow us on Instagram. But make sure your dogs are microchipped if they're not, your fence line's secure because fireworks will freak them out. But make sure your dogs are safe and secure and, feeling comfortable. We like to give them a nice big dinner so they're a little more lazy. But take care of the pups.
Stay home with them if you want to. We might.
We usually do. I feel bad leaving the dogs. A lot of fireworks in the area we live, and it causes them a fright.
They get really scared. They cowered at your feet. So.
Yep. We know this is a shorter episode than usual, but we wanted to share this information with you. Being the 3rd of July, we hope you all have a great Independence Day. And
be safe. Get your steps in. Brian, you too, with your new Fitbit.
My wife got me a new Fitbit for my birthday, so.
Well, I'm not trying to tell you anything. I just thought it was nice.
No, I'm going to translate my wife's language. Hey, get off the couch and lose your belly.
Big panza. Thanks for all the love and support, guys. Wishing everybody a safe 4th of July. Until next time, sip constantly and stay hydrated.